A viewer wants to know how he can talk to a girl that he's afraid to talk to. And I know what's happening here. It's like the longer that you don't talk to her and the more time passes, the harder it is because you've elevated her in your mind. She's perfect. You can never, ever measure up and on and on. Okay, so it's going to become almost insurmountable. You have to get past it. You just have to. And I know easier said than done. But look, what's your biggest fear? To make a fool of yourself in front of her? You know what? Make a fool of yourself. Seriously, because that'll be the test. And that will determine whether you want to date her in the first place. Because if you just totally blow it and just stumble all over the place and you're like, oh, and she just is, ugh, I don't want to have anything to do with him. You know what? Do you want to really date that kind of a person? No, she is going to realize she's not stupid that you're nervous because if you are constantly looking at her or you're passing her by or you've probably spoken to friends who've said, oh, he kind of likes you. She knows, all right? She knows. So she also realizes that when you finally approach her, it's not going to be easy for you. Now, if she were a kind, warm person, which is the kind of person you want to go out with anyway, she's going to make it easier for you. She's going to start talking so that you don't have to do a lot of the talking. You see where I'm going with this? If she is a kind, nice person and she really likes you back, she's going to make it easy. And she's going to help you and really, really make an effort to find conversation and to make this first encounter a little less nerve-wracking for both of you. And if she doesn't do that and she's really like snooty and just like, "Ugh, I don't want to have anything to do with you really," there, mine's made up, isn't it? So my point is you have nothing at all to lose. This is a test to determine if she is worthy of you. And that's the attitude you need to have because the more you put her on this pedestal, the more she's going to seem out of reach. And she will be perfection in your eyes, which of course nobody is. So you got to bite the bullet. You got to bite the bullet. You got to talk to her. And if you don't, you're going to wonder. You're going to wonder what if. Right? So you say, well, what do I talk about? Right. Obviously, you see this person on a daily basis, whether it's at work or it's at school. You have friends in common. So that's what you need to talk about, whatever it is that you have in common. And if you've never said a word to her, that's a great opening line. I see you around all the time. I've just never gotten a chance to talk to you. I'm your Susie, whatever. And then start talking about, gosh, you and I are friends with blah, blah, blah. And isn't she a great girl? Or don't you like him? Isn't he funny? And then go on and on. And yeah, he works at this certain place and I know so and so does too, and I think that's how they met. So you can talk about how you know these people. Or if it's school, you could talk about, oh gosh, don't you hate that one professor? So hard, that last test. So, I mean, there's a wealth of things to talk about. If it's somebody that you have something in common with, and we all have something in common with the people we run into every day or on a regular basis, or we wouldn't run into them. So do it, and just assume you're going to make a fool of yourself the first time. All right. And then the pressure's off and just be yourself. I know everyone says it, be yourself, but otherwise, who else are you going to be, really?